Okay. First and foremost, the most important thing, two things. One, I'm not making the podcast today. Two,
Sydney's back.
The Mulan bit will be in the podcast today.
Oh, was it not yesterday?
It was not, which is hilarious because I stupidly, that was the lead
the big
line.
Push with it?
Everything, Mulan. And then...
We like that because then you listen to the podcast, you're like, well, did I miss it? Where was it?
It was definitely my fault. I don't know. I like to hear the stuff from other people, so it's a little inside baseball, but I'll tell you, I use Adobe Audition to make the podcast.
Yeah.
And so you have to import each thing individually. I edit it, and then it gets dragged over on a timeline with all of the other bits. So the one very important step that I left out was and I know exactly how it happened. I edited the Mulan thing. It was the first thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I realized that I hadn't gotten our podcast intro yet.
Yeah.
So I went over and grabbed it. I dragged the podcast intro onto the edit line.
But not the Mulan.
That's right.
So you get something extra today.
Yeah. So that will be, I'm going to put it in the email. Make sure you put that in. So hopefully Sydney, who maybe she has a way better workflow than I do.
But she'll remember.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the one mistake. It was an important one.
But out of many days, just to only have the one is really a testimony.
That's pretty good.
To you.
It's pretty good.
It's fine.
It's just a shame that of all the bits I left out,
it was
the one that I mentioned in every single social media post that we did.
Right.
But it's fine. Whatever. So that'll be in here today. And thank you for some of you that let me know, and then some of you that let me know. And I'm going to say less than kind words. Thank you. Okay, so today we talk about Panda Express, the candle.
Yeah, and the clothing items.
Arby's, the meats.
Yeah.
LA County and what they're doing with Trick or Treat this year.
And the treats.
Gamer gum, strip lighting, Japanese theaters with Rambo.
That's actually really interesting about Japanese movie theaters.
I thought so too. The perfect gift. Obadiah needs a friend in retail. Is that you? Could you be Obadiah's friend in retail?
He doesn't need you to buy it like he was saying, but he just needs someone to help.
I just need some help, Nikki. That's all.
I'm sorry.
And then voter fraud.
That's it.
So I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. And don't forget that the fall fundraiser is coming up on Monday. You can get in and learn more now at RadioU.com. You click on donate.
Thanks for listening today.
Bye.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Well, Nikki just mentioned it to me off air, and we're just going to go ahead. We're just going to rip the Band-Aid right off.
Just tell you all that I don't know if anybody's expecting anything for Halloween this year, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh, man. Trick-or-treating has just been shut down
due to coronavirus. Well, this is LA County. They have banned trick-or-treating, but that's kind of the start towards what we saw coming, but it's where counties start to, let people know they will not be doing an official trick-or-treating probably.
So, I mean, I suppose what ends up happening is people have a little party on the side.
Just toss them out. Just leave them on the street so many distances away from each other. I don't know what else to do.
Even if you individually wrap it, did you touch it? Okay,
well, candy
then you
already
can't.
is individually wrapped.
Yeah, but you got to wrap the wrapper.
Yeah, you're right. What do you do with that?
You wrap the wrapper. And then what you do is, actually, you know what? I've got this whole thing worked out now. Okay, you get it. You put on gloves in your hazmat suit.
Yeah.
You take each individual piece of candy and you place it in its own bag, which you then seal up. Then you use a combination of maybe like an old crutch or a walking stick or something.
One of those with grabber things.
Okay,
the
I
grabber
like that.
sticks.
I don't know if they're long enough, so we'll need two. And you are able to sit on your porch and then 6 feet away hand out an individually wrapped piece of candy to a child that comes up. And I don't know if you've ever seen kids trick-or-treating, but they are so orderly and calm.
It'll be fine.
They only use the sidewalks, and they are really good at staying apart.
Can you imagine how that would look? You're like, here, come closer to the sticks. It's not going to happen. Well, in an official capacity, I just feel like a lot of places will officially take it off the schedule and not do it. But I'm sure, also depending on which state and city you're in, they might unofficially do it.
Well, seeing this, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I feel like they're the first ones.
Yeah, but they're the biggest. It is expected.
Yeah.
I'm not too surprised.
But, again, they're first. So first!
They say door-to-door trick-or-treating is not allowed because it can be very difficult to maintain proper social distancing on porches and at front doors in neighborhoods with trick-or-treating. So they're also saying trunk-or-treating events.
I was just going to say, did you see trunk-or-treating's out too?
Where trick-or-treating from cars is also not going to be allowed as well.
So carnivals, festivals, live entertainment, and haunted house attractions also prohibited. Look, man, they straight up canceled it.
That's all the stuff there.
That is canceled.
So if you want to do a drive-through car parade sort of thing, they're saying that you still must be in your car during the drive-through event. You can't get out.
You guys can't see me face palming, but it's happening. They say you could also have online parties.
Well, don't even.
They do. That's right. It's right there.
That. No, they did not.
Yeah, they do. Have an online party.
Well, that doesn't really take over like trick-or-treating. That doesn't work for that.
I'm tired of online parties.
I knew. It's L.A. County. Again, biggest, but first one to officially say no trick-or-treating.
Yeah. Sorry. You know what? Just go buy some candy.
We can still do that. You can do that anytime you want to.
You can dress up and eat candy alone in your house.
What's worse than the worst of the riot? The worst of the riot podcast. Yeah. You did this to yourself. Podcast. Riot. Radio U.
Flags at half-mast today.
Yes.
And the president has called it a national day of mourning. And I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it was late last night, or at least in the afternoon, when Kim Kardashian got out and announced
so they're not
that Keeping Up with the Kardashians was going to end after its 20th season this year.
Now, with how things were showing yesterday, people, I think, would have thought like, oh, it's ending now. It's not.
No, they filmed like 14 more seasons already.
So there's this year, and then there's a season next year, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I think that was the case.
Yeah. So
we have a while.
I'll tell you what, it hit me hard last night.
Did it?
It did. It did. Some real, I'm going to call it existential depression. You start asking yourself, why am I here? What's the point of all this? And why should I go on?
Well, it's been I didn't realize it was on so long. I've not watched it, but
it's insane. 17 years.
That long?
It's been on, or is it 14 years? I don't know. It's a lot. 14 years. It's still too long.
Well, you only have, again, the rest of this year and a little bit of next year then. Then it'll be over.
It's a lot.
They were saying that just ratings have been down for quite some time.
That's fine. Nikki and I, we don't watch the show anymore, but thanks to several news sources, we're always doing a great job keeping tabs.
Wait, let's say this way. We've never watched the show, but because of news sources, we didn't need to watch the show. There was always it's like they used to do this with The Walking Dead. There's always a walkthrough of the entire episode.
Yeah, it's something. So there you go. 20 seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Do you know we have to blame ourselves? We did that.
I think that was in the beginning, but they've just left it on.
It's somebody forgot to cancel it?
No, that's not everybody's fault. It's just sometimes it just gets comfortable and they're just keeping it there.
Can you imagine how hard it would be after 14 years of show? Like you've turned your personal life into a show.
Yeah.
I wonder, okay, say what you will about the Kardashians, blah, blah, blah. They may seem dumb, but they're very smart people. They have managed to turn stupid
nothing
drama
into something.
Yes. I mean, I'm telling you right now, there is a real showmanship or show personship, whatever you want to call it. There's something there to take nothing and make something like that. There is a talent there for sure. Doesn't mean I admire it. Maybe part of it.
Just that it's there.
Yeah, but it's there. And so after your life being that for so long, what would that be like?
Sure.
You go from, I mean, it would be like you and I not doing the riot anymore, but we did the riot from our house all the time.
But I wonder how much of the stuff that's following them even revolves around the show as much anymore, or is it just the life that they've made?
Well, I know, but part of that life's going to go away. Like, there's not going to be...
I don't think it's a big part as much anymore. I'm sure they just film for, like, here's a couple of weeks. There you go.
Think so?
That's all they do.
Okay. That's fair.
You know, the camera crew comes in with the script. and tells them what to do.
Absolutely.
And then there's your season.
Absolutely.
So I don't think it's like a constant thing, like that's their whole life anymore.
Okay.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
I would like all of us to take a journey together into a theoretical world. Let's say that you work for an organization that does a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Let's say they do it approximately twice a year. And for this fundraiser, they bring in soda so that you'll have access to it during the fundraiser as a little pick-me-up as it's happening.
Little something during the hard days.
Now, that soda comes in, let's say, approximately a week early.
Yeah.
And it has a sign that says, for fundraiser.
Sure.
Now, many people will look at that and say, like, oh, that's a sign that says you have to wait until the fundraiser starts.
Yeah.
Now.
Which is Monday, by the way.
Nikki, what that paper doesn't say is for the fundraiser.
Uh-huh.
It says it's for fundraiser. And I'll just tell you right now, I'm a fundraiser.
So are you saying that the soda should be available right now?
I'm saying that it says for fundraiser, and I am
a fundraiser.
I am fundraiser.
So did you grab one?
Yeah. Fundraiser dipped in.
So this is the hard part, though. There's always a section of the sodas that we never usually drink.
Yeah.
So the problem is everybody's starting to drink them early, and that'll just leave the stuff we don't want at the end.
I'll tell you what I'm going to... What do you mean everybody? Am I...
No, like I don't think you're the only. I don't think you're the only person who'll start getting into the soda since now that you started it.
Here's the thing. First off, just blame me. The email's coming.
It doesn't matter.
The email's coming. But you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to replace what I took.
Replenish.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that. But
you're going to have that now.
Fundraiser needed a little something.
Mr. Fundraiser this week needs something.
Let me show you what a fundraiser I am.
Yeah.
The fall fundraiser starts Monday.
You're doing it.
But you don't have to wait. You can actually get more info, see the new shirt, and get in now at RadioU.com. You click on donate.
You'll be good.
When you give funds, I raise funds.
Good job.
Which makes me fundraiser.
Hey, you take another sip of that soda because you deserve that.
Haven't had my first.
So if you want to help out and support RadioU.com/donate, it is worth learning about, how we're commercial free, how we've been on the air, and how we can continue to be on the air. And you can see the new fall design for our shirt and our lightweight hoodie. And if you want to check out the Riot Club, there's a special little extra surprise there that's new for this fundraiser.
Really?
There is.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, I'm not going to name any names here, but I'll say this. He works in the Chicago market. Somebody that you and I both know in radio is having, I've never heard of this before, but apparently it's called the Diet Bet.
What is that? Oh, for like your coworkers?
Well, it's just for anybody that wants to get in. So here's what he has. It's like a shout out to radio people. September 14th through October 11th. Mm-hmm. So what you're supposed to do is it's $20. You're putting $20 in the pot.
Yeah.
The bet is, can you lose 4% of your body weight over 4 weeks?
Ooh, and then whoever loses the most gets the money?
Or splits it.
So
it's like this. If you're able to lose 4% of your body weight, which, basically, if you think about it, that's 4 pounds per 100. Then you...
No one's asking you to say how much, though.
Well, to join this, you'll have to.
You have to?
Yeah.
Aww.
Well, that you got to... So the way it works is you pay $20.
Yeah.
Then you have 2 photos that you
I feel
take.
like this is a fantasy league.
It feels... You're
Pretty
right.
much.
You're right. It feels like it. So what you do is you take a picture of the scale, and you handwrite the date, and you put that down. So you put in your weight, and then you do a photo of you standing on the scale. So you could either take it in the mirror or whatever, and then
you send it to him, or you post them, or what?
I guess the only people that see the photos are people that joined the group, and then when it's all said and done, if you make it over the 4% mark, then
you split the money?
You split the money with all the people that did it.
It's a good idea. I mean, we got to lose weight to get ready for our winter weight. So you got to lose a little to gain.
You're not wrong.
We got all that other, 2020 weight, so we got to figure that all out.
You're not wrong. So, yep.
Are you going to do it?
I don't know. I really do need to.
Yeah, but it's fundraiser time during then. That'll be the hardest. It's your birthday.
I know.
Then you're just going to get mad at yourself.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, this is you just giving away $20.
This is not the right time. If maybe it started in October,
I know.
That'd be perfect.
I know, but this will have to wait. So, the good news is we'll just, during the fundraiser and stuff, we'll put on a little bit of weight and then.
It's comfort weight.
Yeah. And then when we get back, let's
do that October 1st. Why don't we just be like, yeah, you want to ask him to change the date.
Do me a favor. Let's forget we even had this conversation.
You don't want to remember it at all?
Yeah. I'd prefer that anyway.
Let's just enjoy what September has to offer. We have our fall fundraiser starting Monday.
All those pumpkin things.
It's a lot of work and it's a lot of food and free beverages. So we're just going to have that first.
You're right, Nikki. Thanks for being there for me.
Things are never as bad as they seem, except when it comes to the riot. Then they're worse. They're always worse. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Yesterday for lunch, I had a half pound of roast beef.
Did you?
That's a big sandwich.
It is.
And you know what? It was fantastic. And it didn't need anything else. That was it. I mean, it was 2 pieces of bread and a half a pound of roast beef and a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, look at that. Wouldn't it be a shame if a little of the Diet Dr. Pepper just happened to, fall onto some of the roast beef? Yeah, like for some people that make a lot of sandwich meats with, like you pour Coke in it and stuff.
Sure.
Or you can do Diet, Dr. Pepper.
Oh, man, it was good.
Delicious.
Talking about Arby's, Nikki.
I hear you.
You know what? There's an Arby's on my way home.
Yeah.
And I've started, stopping in.
Off. Now, normally we grumble a little bit. It can be a little expensive.
Oh, I paid.
It's a little expensive.
That sandwich and that soda was $8.
Well, now do you want to spend more money?
Which is
go to Arby's?
It's insane. It's way too expensive.
So Arby's in Atlanta at 9 of their locations are going to be testing locally, selling some of their meat in bulk.
Yeah.
So, like you go to the grocery store, you're like, I'll take a pound of turkey. You would go to Arby's and you could order their turkey, sliced ham, and corned beef, and you can just buy it that way.
So they say, hey, Patrick Schwing, that's his name. Schwing!
Okay.
He was asking for it.
Sure.
He's the chief marketing officer. He says that they have been dealing with requests from customers to have to-go meat for years.
Yeah.
So basically as if Arby's were a deli.
They said, though, that customer surveys showed that they didn't really want, if you got something from Arby's that was normally warmed up, that people didn't want to buy that. So I don't know if they're actually selling roast beef.
So what are they, like selling cold cuts?
It is. It's the colder stuff. So it's the ham, the turkey, and the corned beef. But as far as like other stuff, they might not sell it all.
Okay.
And they're still just, figuring it out.
If you're telling, look, guys, I don't go to Arby's for anything but the roast beef.
But you want them to make it their way. So the other stuff you're fine with.
So go ahead. Give me a pound of roast beef in a big tub.
So you can buy it in half-pound or 1-pound packages. You can get it through the drive-thru. If it's successful, they're considering expanding it to other types of meats and a nationwide thing. They're just not sure right now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is similar to what Subway, I don't know if they still do it, but do you remember Subway in different cities in California? They were selling their stuff. You could go to Subway and pick up food like you would at a grocery store.
Right.
So you could go buy their lettuce. You could go buy their tomatoes.
Why?
And you would go pick it up outside on the curb, curbside, but you were buying it in bulk through where Subway would buy the stuff.
If food, you were in a desperate situation, I could understand shopping at Subway. Mm-hmm. But who, during a normal time of life, would ever think Subway has such good meats good vegetables?
That was at the
I'll
very
just shop
start
there.
Of the quarantine stuff, and then they'd have a surplus of their food, so that's why they would start selling it in bulk.
Yeah, Subway.
So Subway had done that, but now Arby's is looking at 9 restaurants in Atlanta to test selling half-pound and 1-pound packages of some of their meat stuff.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I don't think this is a good idea.
What is it?
It's the Panda Express candle?
Did you see the whole list of or did you see the shop that they have?
No.
So Panda Express, along with almost every other place, you just might not actually go there, they have a lot of merchandise that they sell. And
really?
A lot of the focus on, I think, this season's, if that's what you want to call it, merchandise, is about the honey sesame chicken that they have.
Which I don't need.
You don't need it's not the orange chicken, but maybe they've done that in the past. We just never knew about it.
Man, they really do have a lot of stuff. Who is buying this stuff?
Some of it looks cute, but they have like a honey sesame chicken onesie for a grown-up.
Yeah, they do.
They have
$60
for that. Yeah, they have socks for like $15. You can get a blazer for $60, a face mask for $8. They were talking about the honey sesame scented candle. That is $28.
$28. Now
that's fresh off the Dairy Queen candles. They have a line of candles that are now out too. That's for raising money for a organization. This is just going to Panda.
I wonder, what if there was a smell that you could candleize, that you could have your room smell like that. What would be the smell?
I think I would enjoy orange chicken.
See,
I don't think that would be bad.
I think the idea of any kind of a food smell outside of like a fruity smell or like a cinnamon, I think that's a terrible idea because I'm just going to want it.
Well, that's the point. You're indulging without indulging.
No.
The indulgement was just the $28 to buy the candle.
That's going to work on you hard.
Eventually?
Yeah,
wear you down?
Eventually, you're going to have to go get this stuff. Whereas you'd be better off just going over to Panda, getting a bowl of it, setting it out, letting it stink up the room, and then eating.
You can try to light the food on fire. It's fine.
Well, I mean, you think about it. You leave it sealed up. You get it home. You open it up. I think a Panda bowl is like $6 or $7. You leave it on the counter for a while. Your house reeks of it, and then you're set.
Perfect.
You've got an entire apartment that is drenched in the stench of honey sesame.
But it's like that if you don't take your trash out anyway, so it's fine. You don't even have to do anything out of the ordinary.
Actually, you know what?
Just leave your trash in.
Genius. You go, you buy 2 of them. One that you leave out for like 3 days. Boom.
Wonderful.
That
You've got it figured out.
is going to linger.
But it was just an article talking about the candle part of it. But yeah, there's a whole honey chicken line of merchandise.
It does sound good, though. I'm just hungry.
You're just hungry. That's why they could get you to get the candle in the first place. You're just hungry.
A half-pound of roast beef to now Panda Express candles.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
I'm having to just come to terms with the fact that maybe I just don't like blank anymore. Have you ever considered that? Where there's something that you liked a whole lot, but over time you don't like it as much, and then you just become very critical of it, and you harsh on it, and then after a while, maybe you just don't like it.
You just changed?
You've just changed.
Yeah.
Maybe the two of you have grown apart, and it's time for you to just accept, hey, you know what? I just don't like it anymore. And that's, the long, dark tea time of the soul that I've been going through over the last 12 to 18 hours regarding Star Trek.
You just don't like it anymore?
I think maybe I just don't like it anymore.
Well, I think that you only like certain older movies because you had nice memories with your dad.
Right.
But it seems like everything else more current, you have no memories with.
I watched the trailer for Star Trek Discovery Season 3, and I'm watching it. I'm just like, I just don't care about this at all. It's all about, these people are like, we're protecting the dream of the Federation. And I rolled my eyes so hard, I was afraid I couldn't see anymore. And you know what? That was actually the moment when I realized, you know what?
Maybe you don't.
Maybe it's you. Maybe it's not that you're a hateful, bitter person. I explored that option as well.
Did you?
I did.
Well, everybody assumes you must like it.
Right.
But I think it's only like, hey, what was the one? The Wrath of Khan.
Wow.
Like, that's all you like.
It's the best movie of all time.
Well, that's it, though.
Yeah. But this, I don't think I like it. I don't think I do.
We're okay with that. Are you okay? You're still trying to explore the space.
I'm trying to come to terms with it.
Yeah.
Okay. And just be willing to kind of accept it.
Do you feel like you like newer things and you've just opened up and, now that room is now available for other franchises?
Well, maybe. But you know what? The part of the problem is I don't think you love anything as an adult the same way you did when you were a kid.
Sure.
I think that's the thing that lingers. Like when I was a kid, I loved that because my dad and I loved it, et cetera, et cetera. But now, like as adult me, I don't think that I could love again. Not like that.
Not at all. Not about Star Trek.
Not like that. But I mean, I'm starting to think maybe instead of hate watching it, I should just be like, you know what? I don't like this.
Yeah.
It's okay not to like it.
So, like,
it's okay for me to go one way and for them to go another way.
To go their own. Do you regret watching, like, Picard?
No, that's different.
That's different? So it just depends on each one then?
Yeah. But this idea, like, I wanted to like it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe. And I'm watching it. I'm like, no.
It's just not working anymore.
Nah.
That's fine.
Nah. It's fine.
Listen, things change. We change. It changes.
I know. And so that's what I'm saying is maybe, I feel like this isn't just for me, Nikki. I think
others need to hear it too.
I think we all need to realize that it's okay to stop liking something and to just move on from it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
It doesn't have to define who we are as people. We can just say, you know what? I'm not really a fan of this anymore. I'm going to move on.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the riot podcast.
It happened over the weekend. Did you hear about Labor Day?
Labor Day,
Apparently that was Monday.
Yes, we remember.
A lot of people had a 3-day weekend.
We did too.
Wow.
Looky there.
We did.
We did.
Look at us.
I know we tend to forget that as the Labor Day week goes on and it feels like the rest of the week is punishing you for not coming in on Monday.
Look at us.
But we did.
We did. And Nikki, with all of that extra time off, it looks like the TSA had a record-setting number when it came to life under COVID.
Yeah.
They said over the weekend they screened about 2 million people.
So is that higher now for people traveling since it's been down more? Or
it's not. It's about 50% less of what you saw last year.
Yeah.
So less people are traveling, but
in COVID times,
it's still way higher than what we saw over Memorial Day.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So they say that this is an indicator that people are getting more comfortable and more willing to travel.
I assumed more people were willing to travel on the Reddit forums where it's the public freaking out. There's always an increase after
really
holidays when it comes
really
to people getting kicked off planes. Or, the fight on the thing going into the plane. Like, you just get an increase in those.
So it looks like we're traveling more. I'm coming back to this, and I've said this before, but I'm still here. I'm still waiting for the COVID bomb to go off because they keep telling us there's so much inconsistent messaging across the media. There are people that are like, things are getting better. And other people are like, no, things are getting worse. This is the calm before the storm. Look at all the parties happening on campus. Look at all the people in the airplanes. It's going down. And I just find myself going, like, is it? Are we getting it? Like, is it happening?
So you're just waiting?
I just feel like there are a lot of people making very strong statements. In the meantime, there's no longer quarantine restrictions inside the United States.
Within traveling.
Like if you're traveling from state to state, federally, we're no longer recommending that. Air travel is up over holiday weekends, et cetera, et cetera.
Now, I know you're supposed to fly around Thanksgiving.
Yes, I am.
So it just kind of depends on if you feel comfortable enough flying, but it seems like a lot more people are.
I'm still planning on traveling unless there is a drastic change. But it seems like again, I keep waiting for that big drastic moment.
No, but as long as you felt comfortable actually flying that way, meaning wearing a mask the whole time.
I was going to say, I'm never comfortable while I travel via air.
What's
ever.
this? There's nothing else you can add to it to make it even worse than it already is. So it's fine.
It's 18 hours of complete discomfort.
And that normally is what you have anyways.
Right. So, we'll see
Yeah,
where
but
it
a lot
goes.
of people were traveling for the holiday.
So do we see a spike, or do we see a spike that breaks the ceiling and explodes?
I don't know. Everybody's different. Wherever you are traveling, some people are encouraged to still take some time before you go back to everything. And for other places, they don't say that.
Yeah.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by two people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, RadioU.
They are an English news source in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they often, if these people are lying, there's so much stuff about Japan, I'm assuming now, that's just not true, but they talk about a lot of different things there.
But it's an English take on it, on the news?
Yes. This is fascinating to me. I would have never thought about it, but apparently in Japan, if you go to the movies, you are quiet.
Yeah.
Like, while you watch a movie, you don't laugh, gasp, cry. You are quiet.
Well, if you look at the area as a whole, you're supposed to be quieter. Like if you go on the train, you are not supposed to answer your phone or talk loudly. You're supposed to be polite.
Yes. And so they have started doing special screenings of movies where you're allowed to just let
laugh?
it all out.
Really?
Yes.
That is creative.
They say that in reality, it's very popular, that if a movie is very popular, it comes back for like a second release where you can go and, just have fun.
Yeah. So if it's a humorous movie, a comedy.
Or like an action movie if you want to yell or whatever.
And so then it'll come back in theaters, and then that's the run where
And it's like you
can be more emotional.
Yes, they'll mark it as like a fan screening or whatever.
Well, it is such a polite society where they don't want to interrupt the first time you possibly watching this movie. And they think that to us, showing some of those emotions means you like the movie.
Right.
But to them, that would be an interruption. It would be rude.
Well, I will tell you, that's one of the fun parts of going to an opening night crowded theater screening of a movie.
Yeah.
Because the crowd is excited
Rowdy.
to be there and they're rowdy. Yeah. And so getting the audience reaction to moments in a film, it becomes kind of this communal experience. It's fun.
And we kind of have that with our showings and time. So like if I go to a midnight movie, I know it's going to be rowdier than if I'm going to a noon movie or something.
Right.
I understand that there'll be a difference in the crowds.
Now, you keep scrolling through this article, and why it got started is, what's getting, this is so weird. Do you know what's getting a re-release in Japan?
Because people want to show emotion during it? What is it?
Rambo Last Blood.
Which one's that one?
That's the final Rambo movie.
When did he make that?
Last year?
Last year?
I think. And it's on Amazon Prime. So if you are a Prime subscriber, it's free to watch on Amazon Prime.
But it's back in theaters.
And they're doing an experiment with it. So they're going to set it up that there's a number that you can text, and you'll be able to text whatever you want, and it will show up on screen. And so there's basically going to be a chat room inside the theater.
On the screen.
And it will just pop up on the screen.
I think that's fun. Now, Nathan texted and said, meanwhile, I had someone yelling spoilers during my first viewing of Avengers Endgame. So maybe Nathan didn't want it that rowdy then. But other times...
That's no good.
You're going to have some people like that, unfortunately. They want to just ruin it. They want the attention, Nathan. That's why they were yelling. So
yeah. I've got more than one story about movie theater experiences.
Where they yell it out?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, here you could just put it on the text thing and then it'll show on the screen. But at that point, if it's such an older movie, you're going in just to have fun with it, not to actually be surprised and watch it for the first time.
Proper planning prevents poor performance. Clearly, the Riot didn't properly plan. This is the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Okay, Nikki, let's you and I right here. You and me, Nikki.
Yeah.
I want you to wind back what you were just talking about off air and say it out loud.
You haven't seen that trend in a while, or
No.
you haven't seen it yet?
No.
So we have strip lighting around our studio ceiling. Nope, not that. It's just, these strips of, is it LED, like little lights?
Yes.
So they're around the ceiling as like some accent lighting for us here in the studio.
You know what? It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
I love it because we sit in the dark. And so this gives the room some ambient lighting without
being too
direct
much.
lighting. Like I absolutely love our LED lights.
And we can change the colors, so it's fun. At Christmas time, they
Like
change red and green, and you can access. They're nice. But for strip lighting, it's been on TikTok for people to go and look underneath them because supposedly it attracts bugs and they stick and they go underneath them.
So,
It's kind of like a bug trap.
really?
Yeah. So they're always around the strip lighting.
So what attracts them? The smell of the adhesive? Is it the colors?
I don't know. Maybe bugs are just normally always at the ceiling anyways.
We
And
just don't
that's
know
their
it.
space and they just get stuck or something. But
Okay.
you're supposed to lift them up a little bit and you can see underneath it.
I had some LED track lighting like that, and I ended up switching to, I don't think Philips Hue is doing super well, which I'm completely wrong
Wasn't
about
that the expensive one?
Yes. And so they had these certain kind of lights that are not, they're LEDs, but they're not the strip lighting, bow chicka bow wow. And they are in these.
Now it's taking effort to do what you're doing. Just effort.
And I bought those instead.
Yeah.
And like at Christmas, they essentially had a buy one, get one free sale. And I bought 4 of them. But I only paid for 2.
Well, for ours,
Because I'm a retail genius.
ours are going bad. So they like, I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to what they're doing. They'll just really flicker on and off and just random things.
Do you think that there are bugs up there chewing through the LEDs?
No, but I think something's going bad. So the question is, when we bought the cheaper strip lights, like they're not that expensive.
I can't imagine that's true.
We did.
You take that back
we
right
did.
now.
So are we going to talk about fixing at the source of where the power is, or do we have to restring new LED lights at the ceiling? And if so, that's brought up the thing of you might have to remove the old ones and then you can see if there's bugs there.
I don't want there to be bugs there.
Well, and they're still working kind of, so it's not like we're taking them away yet.
Here's what it really comes down to. Nikki and I are the first people in every day. So whatever's broken, we're always the first people to notice. So then we pass on the news, hey, this is broken.
And who wants to hear about things being broken?
Inadvertently, we somehow shoulder the blame for broken things.
We bear the brunt of it.
Because we're the messenger, not because we broke it.
So no one wants to hear it, and they don't get mad. They're frustrated at something being broken, and
But they
we're
take
just
it out
there.
on us.
Yes, we're just there.
And we feel like they're mad at us. And so next week, Michael's going to be in the studio with us.
Our boss.
And
he can see it.
We want him to see, like, hey, weren't making it up. It's real.
But I bet you during our fundraiser, they work beautifully. Like, no issues.
You think so?
Yeah, probably.
They're being on their best behavior.
Because they know.
Just like us.
Just when we're the only ones in here. But that's just going on.
It's fine. I hope there aren't any bugs up there just waiting. You lean back and yawn, and all of a sudden,
It jumps out.
falls in your mouth.
I think they're normally dead around the lighting, but they're just there.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on RadioU.
Who is getting so excited about buying a new iPhone?
Yay! Are there more rumors?
Nikki, it's not a rumor anymore. There's going to be an Apple virtual press conference coming up September 15th.
September 15th.
That would be 1 week from yesterday. So what's today? Next Tuesday. Got it. I know what I'm doing. Yep. That's where we are.
Supposed to be unveiling, I think some of the previous rumors were maybe 2 new phones, they said.
I think they're going to have
2 new versions.
14 new phones.
No, I think it's 2 new versions with maybe some sizing differences between them, but basically just 2.
Yeah. Well, according to this, now I don't want to contradict you, because you're a great person, Nikki.
No, or is it not that?
They're saying 4 new models.
4 new models?
Of iPhone,
Well,
yeah.
I mean, like, you have the A plus the plus size version, but
yeah,
it's still
okay. I see
about
what
the
you mean.
same. So it's the 2 versions with different iterations.
So you get like the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12
Plus, yeah.
And then the iPhone 12 Max and the iPhone 12 Max Plus.
Yeah, exactly.
Good Lord. How do we keep that straight?
And they are supposed to go a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Just a little bit bigger.
Right. Didn't they say it was going to be like...
Just a tiny bit smaller than maybe the iPad Mini.
Yeah, man. The road to iPad Mini. It's just happening.
Pretty close.
Like, we're getting closer every day.
I know.
So the other thing that's supposed to be the hotness about these new iPhones is that they're going to be COVID spreaders. I mean, I'm sorry, 5G phones.
Don't say it that way.
What?
Because don't cause problems with that. I just want to enjoy the phone, all right?
You know what, Nikki? And you're going to get a chance to enjoy it from quarantine.
From quarantine.
Because once you get a 5G phone, it's going to get you.
That's not official.
It's going to get you. Do we even have 5G around here?
We do, yeah.
Are you sure?
Do you have it at your house?
No, I know
don't
that's
think
not
you
true.
do,
Like,
but
I know I don't.
there is still 5G for most of our area, yeah. I believe so.
We don't know.
I thought the map showed us covered.
I haven't even looked at a coverage map.
Yeah, no, I think we have it here.
I'd have to look at 5G tech. The one thing I know is I keep talking to people and they're like, yeah, 5G is super fast, but its range is really short.
Yeah.
So that it involves them having to put 5G antennas all over the place, much more so than what we're used to now. So I don't know. I haven't done a lot of digging into it other than the fact that it causes coronavirus. So, Nikki, the iPhone 12 supposed to be announced and unveiled and all that stuff at this press conference next Tuesday.
So they're saying next week they'll have a virtual Apple press conference that'll show the details on what the new fall stuff will be.
Yeah. I'm tired of virtual press conferences.
Well, they were always virtual.
They were always virtual for us. Always. We never
this
went.
This isn't the one part that's different.
But man, I can't take another Zoom call. Just keep it. Just
we're done having them.
Just put out a photo and call it a day.
When they were earlier, we were talking about how, in LA, LA counties canceled officially trick-or-treating. And they were like, just have a Zoom call with a friend. And you're like, that cannot be the answer for everything.
It can't be, okay?
It just can't be.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I feel like we are approximately 3 to 5 years away from them just straight up selling us cocaine as a way to get better at video games. Just like, here.
Don't spoil it.
Snort this coke and you'll be able to play for days.
I don't know. I'm sure there'll be something else.
So what I'm looking at here is that the people at Razer, Nikki, they're the ones that make gaming peripherals. They make
the scooters or the phones?
No, it's like mice and controllers and keyboards and stuff like that, right? Well, they are now selling you Respawn gum.
Is it gamer gum?
It's gamer gum.
What's in it? Caffeinated?
Well, Nikki, it's got vitamins, B5, B6, and B12, some niacin, and some green tea extract.
There it is.
See?
That's just caffeine. So.
It's just caffeine.
But it's natural. They want to make sure it's a natural caffeine.
All they've done is extracted caffeine from green tea.
That's it.
Now, we don't know that, but I feel pretty confident about it. They've got 3 different flavors, tropical punch, pomegranate watermelon, and cool mint. Now, they haven't built this from scratch. They teamed up with the people at Wrigley's 5 gum.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the packaging for the other company.
It is, except this one's fortified with the vitamins, minerals, and caffeine you need to be a better gamer.
So if I want more mental focus on Animal Crossing along with reaction time, because you know how important that is in my game.
It is.
Then they're saying this is it.
What do you listen? You go fishing, don't you?
I do. I need better reaction.
If you don't do the fishing right, then you've had it.
Yeah. Okay. So that's from the 5 company of gum. You'd know it if you saw the packaging.
From the new like product. Think about this: the Respawn Snort Box. Like, you have a little box that you carry with you. It's got some white powder. You just take a pinch.
You're not supposed to do that.
And man, you're ready to win for days.
I only see that in movies.
Plus, you'll lose weight.
Then it's not good. Then it is just coke. joke.
You won't need to eat very much. It'll keep you fueled.
That's
gamer fuel.
That is what you look for if you're addicted to something that is not helping. Now, there was a Razor Respawn drink. Did you mention that? So this is the follow-up for the gum.
So, do you want our drink, our chew, or our snort?
What do you want?
Which one do you need?
So a 10-pack of it is $27.99 at the Razor website.
That's 150 pieces of gum.
I feel like that's a bit expensive, but I mean, it is kind of like energy drink in gum form.
Man, these stock photos, they have these people like getting ready to chew the gum.
Yeah.
They look very serious about it.
Well, they're serious about their gaming.
They are. And you know what? This gum is going to give them the edge they need to win.
I just sometimes, since we're in the gaming world, and I do play Animal Crossing, so I count myself in that. Sometimes
you are absolutely a gamer, Nikki.
I play more sometimes than someone else who thinks they are a gamer. But I feel like the boardroom of when they're trying to find a item that they think we would just like because we must want gum,
right.
Like that sort of thing. I feel like it's just weird. They're just trying to sell you stuff, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And they make it look a certain way so they think we'll like it. They put certain flavors so they think we'll like it. And it's just all a advertising thing.
Listen, man, we're going to get you so lit that you're going to win. Win!
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
I don't want to find out, and I don't know if this will happen. I mean, I don't know exactly what happens when we die, but...
Well, Obi. No,
if I mean, I'm sure we're going to be face-to-face with the Lord. And what I'm hoping is he and I are talking and, going back over things. He's not like, hey, while you're here, I want to show you how much time you spent looking for the perfect GIF in your text responses. Like, oh, you know what, Lord, let's just skip over that. Aren't there streets of gold and like unending buffets? Can we get to those? Yeah. Just a minute.
But it's just the happiness here on earth.
I want to show you how many years you spent scrolling through GIFs and memes.
It's fun.
Looking for the perfect response. I just want you to know what you did.
You don't want to see the time here on earth spent, that clock.
Nope. I don't want to see that clock because that's going to be a big, long
Is it?
Clock. Yes.
Well, because you don't always do a lot of them. Are you doing it more?
Maybe not with you.
Okay. With everybody else.
But I spent a lot of time. It's funny, I'm not big on emojis. I won't send a lot of emojis, but GIF responses, yes.
It's everything.
That's what I do.
It's like what I vision my mom does when she tries to find a birthday card. Like...
Yes, okay, yeah, all right.
Like it wants to actually say something, whereas for us, we're like, what birthday card?
What?
Instead,
just give me the money.
The GIF itself is what the whole statement is. Like,
right.
It's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, oh.
It's important.
I mean, I had a question, and they sent me the answer, and I wanted to say thank you.
But no.
And I mean, I think I spent a solid 10 minutes scrolling through thank you GIFs just to make sure that I got the one that I felt really communicated our relationship, the thanking, like all that. I needed it all to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's showing love.
Yeah, and I ended up, I'll be honest, like I finally just decided to wrap it up because I had this image of me and Jesus looking at my running clock. And so I ended up going with Jim Carrey as the mask saying thank you. But you know what the problem was? I didn't look at the whole GIF. So now it says, thank you. You really love me. You really love that.
It's not the perfect one.
It's not. And I should have spent more time going through them.
Go ahead.
I know.
Go ahead and do that.
It's just not a good one. So
if you got that from Obi, if he was the one texting you, it's not the perfect one. He's going to try again later.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll tell you what part of it is. Like with my Android phone, it was hard for me to look at GIFs because of the way I had it set up. With my iPhone, you just hit that little red and dude,
they're all there.
I just look and look and look.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
Nikki, I just went ahead and signed up for the notification for when video cards become available.
Video cards?
Yeah, the email.
The NVIDIA?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm never getting it.
You will. Come on. It might not be right now, but that'll give you more time to save up the money for it.
You know what? I put out a little bag on Twitter where I was like, please, does anybody work for a place where a thing that like
they can hold you one?
I don't want you to buy it for me. I just want you to give me a chance to buy it. That is the reverse sell. That's the same thing like when the Xbox or the PlayStation, like when something comes out and they can't make enough of them to meet demand.
Yeah.
It's total reverse sell. We're like, I can't wait to pay for it. I just wish I could pay for it.
You just need to have help getting you in an earlier spot to then buy it ahead of time.
And you know what? Nope.
No
I'll tell you what, that's the law of the jungle out there.
Well, why don't you send it to me too, and I'll help.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't care about it, which means
it'll be so easy for you to get.
I'll totally get one. It's for only the people that truly care about it the most that you're going to have a hard time.
You actually have a good point.
Yeah, so just let me know the win and the wheres.
The key to getting what you want in life is not caring.
Yes.
If you care
too much,
forget it.
It won't happen.
But not caring, man, you'll just slide through.
That's why everybody who ends up reselling these things are the ones that get them first.
You're right.
So I'll do that. I'll buy it and then resell it to you.
It's fine. The reality of it is, there's no need. I think I'm just...
You just want it.
I'm not bored. I just keep looking at it. You know?
Okay, well.
Hey, listen, don't act like you've never done it.
Oh, no, I understand what you're saying.
There's
nothing wrong with this.
You just happen to stop by the website and take a look. And then you're like, when was the last time I looked? 5 minutes ago.
Why are you looking when there's no change? There's not a change scheduled for any time.
What if there was a change?
What if there was a change? Can't you set up a
notification?
Yeah, an alert system?
Well, that's what I just did through retailers. But we know they're not going to care.
Less.
I'll get an email telling me that it's there, but by the time that email goes out, they'll all be sold out.
So when does this new NVIDIA graphics card?
September 17th.
Okay, Obi's birthday is the 21st. That's why this is real important.
So wait, the 17th, is that a Thursday?
That should be
next Thursday?
That's next Thursday.
Yeah, I think it's next Thursday.
And the question is, can you get to a store early enough or just online?
It's not going to happen. Eric and I tried this a couple years ago. I'd never tried to buy any computer hardware on a launch day. Let me tell you what, it's bad. I mean,
we can do this.
There are people out there that you don't even know are out there that come out for that.
They're trying to find this is a big day.
Yeah. Yeah. So
well,
it's fine,
okay, let's mark down the 17th, guys, okay?
Does anybody does anybody work at Amazon and you can be like, oh, look, we accidentally lost this one, but now Obadiah can buy it.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
So, Nikki, I was thinking about the fact that the election's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at this point, nobody hate me for being so honest, but I think election fraud is pretty much a given at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what you're thinking. Whoever it is that you're voting for, you just assume it's the other side. You'd be like, oh, obviously the Demopublicans are going to be the ones that are going to do this.
Whereas
the Republicrats.
I think we deep down know, I'm sure it's probably been around the entire
Forever.
time, and it's on all the levels.
But that's the part that I was thinking
We're
about.
realistic about the fraud.
We're just now being like, oh, this fraud's happening. I can't believe it. And I imagine in rooms right now, they're just sitting around like, well, yeah, of course we have to cheat. They're going to cheat. So we have to cheat.
See,
if both of us are cheating, that cancels it
levels out.
So we have to.
I was still tempted. Like, I have the absentee ballot stuff to do, but then I thought, well, maybe I should just go in public and vote in person.
I was going to do the absentee because I'm just afraid of, I don't even know what's going to be out there.
What's worse?
But I started thinking, like, you know, why even go and vote? Because is my vote even going to count? But then I started thinking, wait, maybe I should go and vote because maybe my vote will get counted twice.
There you go. You don't know.
It's really hard to know which one is the right choice.
I know. You just got to do what you have to do. So then that way you know that you did your part, even if something happens.
Well, I'm going to get out there and vote for the same candidate you guys are.
Wink. There we go.
I'm going to be out there casting my vote for your person of choice.
And remember, we're not going to talk about it with the election stuff. When that's all done, we're just done. We're moving on to Christmas at that point. So no more.
Yeah.
Everybody be prepared.
It's probably going to be our last Christmas, but I'm going to make sure
That is so sad to say. What is that?
Well, because they're going to take it away after this year, I think.
Why are they? They wouldn't take it away after this year. They take it away this year.
They're going to take it away this year.
Yeah, like then it'd be gone.
So when we were singing Hawk Nelson's Last Christmas last year, were we singing it for the last time?
We didn't know.
The last Christmas happened this year.
Wait, wasn't last year when that
COVID-19 took it away?
Was that the song everybody was... It was that game where you weren't supposed to hear that song during Christmas?
Yep. I made it the whole time.
But was that last Christmas or was that the year before?
No, it was last Christmas.
We had no idea. That was just a foreshadowing of things to come.
They didn't want us to hear the messages that were hidden in the song.
because we just didn't know that there's going to be no Christmas this year.
Yeah.
Election stuff, yes, but no Christmas.
Yeah.
No trick-or-treat.
No
Thanksgiving.
I'm going to vote, but...
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's the Riot on RadioU.
I'm with Chuck. He just texted in and he wants to know, did you like Mulan?
Well, Chuck, first off, thank you for texting.
Thank you.
Second of all, the thing well, hang on. I tried to think this through before I came in this morning. A lot of people called it New Lawn. Like it's new. It's not Mulan, actually.
Okay, sure.
It was okay. It was just okay.
Okay.
And there's lots of layers as to why it's just okay. It's not bad. It could be because you're watching it at home. It wasn't as impressive.
Didn't feel as epic as maybe it should have?
It did not feel as epic. You could have made that just for Disney Plus, and I would have been all right. Wow, that's great. It's just okay.
So do you think that the fact that you knew the whole time you were watching, you were like, I paid $30 for this. I paid $30 for this.
No,
I
not
paid
at all.
$30 for this. Do you think that negatively affected
how
you felt?
No, it just wasn't as impressive of a movie. Now, I liked the animated Mulan, so I grew up with that. That was something I enjoyed. They were saying that there was a lot of aspects of the animated one that offended a non-Western audience. And so some of that stuff they changed in the live action one.
Okay.
So like she does not cut her hair. Well, we grew up like, all right, she's going all in. She's cutting her hair. But in, that culture, they actually had long hair. So that was...
Right. The men had long hair, too.
That was made for a Western audience in the animated one. So for this one, there was just certain things that were changed. Very big emphasis on a family aspect. A little bit more than...
So it was like Fast and Furious.
Well, I guess kind of. I mean, I haven't watched any of those recently, so I can't compare, but it was just kind of an in-between. Like, the action was just okay. I don't know if they were trying to go to make sure that younger audience was still okay, but I felt like they really needed to go more in on it. It was just all right. Storyline was just all right. It just looked all right. It was just all right.
Wow.
It wasn't the worst, but it was just like, wow, it wasn't the best. And I watched it twice just to make sure. Just to make sure.
That was actually going to be my next question.
And just to see how I still felt like it.
How many times did you watch it?
It was so rushed, too, in certain aspects and then really long in other parts. So it just wasn't as balanced as I thought.
Not selling it to me.
Really? I felt like when I was done watching it the second time, I was like, wow, I really could have waited till December. So that's the only time I thought about the money side.
I don't want to be too hard on you, but I want to take you back to Thursday.
I was so excited.
When you were like, I wonder if I could buy it today.
I know.
That way it'll be there.
I was
Friday,
so excited.
Friday morning, you made sure you bought it before you got into work because you didn't want to forget.
I just wanted to watch it. I was really looking forward to it. And again, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't.
Do you think it was just that your expectations were too high?
No, I actually didn't have that high of expectations.
I don't know. Your excitement level was so high.
But that's different than my expectations of what the movie, like, that means you really didn't have to do much for me to be impressed because I was so excited to watch something.
Yeah? Okay.
So mine's a just okay. Out of 5 just okays, it's
3.5 just okays.
I'd say 2.
Whoa! No,
2 just okays.
Below, you're telling me below 3 just okays?
I don't know. I was really curious to see everybody else's opinion if you watched it over the weekend for Mulan, for the new one, because I just want to know if your just okays match my just okays, and we're all just okay.
Well, go ahead and text that one in there.
And we don't have to. We're not being mean about it. We're just. Wasn't as impressed with it as I thought I might be.
Don't tell me.
They had a long time to work on that movie. They had a long time.
Well, at some point you just stop.
Yeah, you think, it's done. There's nothing else we can do.
It's supposed to be out in March and September. So
that was it. So Chuck, it's just okay.
Hey,
I wish it was a little better.
Chuck, thanks for caring.
Yeah, it was exciting to hear that you guys wanted to know what I thought about it.
Thank you, Chuck.
I wish it was better, but again, just okay. And sometimes that's fine.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
Nikki wants to sit alone in the corner eating crab legs.